The Bengals fall to 0-3 on the year after a disappointing home loss to the Washington Commanders on Monday Night Football here at Paycor Stadium. And where to begin when we start with breaking down this game. For the Bengals, the biggest headlines that will come out of tonight's loss will start with the defensive performance. Coming into this game, all signs pointed to the Commanders wanting to run the ball first on the Bengals, who were banged up on the defensive line, specifically at the defensive tackle position, and based off of their performance in the first 2 weeks, all signs pointed to the Bengals needing to stop the run first. And then it took a turn for the opposite, because the way the Commanders were able to deal the Bengals in the air was just something that Cincinnati could not overcome all night. Rookie quarterback Jayden Daniels was 21 of 23. The Bengals simply were not able to get any push up front, and really they were not able to affect Daniels at all in the pocket. And when a quarterback can complete 21 of 23 passes, that's very indicative of a lack of a pass rush for the Bengals. And then for him to have 254 yards and 2 touchdowns showed some of the issues that the Bengals had tackling and in coverage from their cornerback positions specifically. Not a great night for either Dax Hill or Cam Taylor-Britt outside, and the Commanders took full advantage of it. And the Bengals just got gashed on the defensive side of the ball. Several times they were facing critical fourth downs to try and get off the field, and they weren't able to stop the Commanders. The Commanders didn't punt all night long, and that's simply something that the Bengals defense does not take pride in. And you've seen from Lou Anarumo's group for the past couple of seasons that those fourth down stops are really where they feel like they make their money, and they just simply weren't able to be productive in that area, and really any area tonight against the Commanders. But the offense isn't totally out of fault as well. It was a better performance from Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase tonight. 2 touchdowns. That connection was back in a full effect. But a couple of stalled out drives in the red zone, an area where the Bengals could be a lot better, and a missed field goal from Evan McPherson, and a missed 2-point conversion left some points off the board for Cincinnati's offense. So where do the Bengals go from here? The stats won't put things in favor for the Bengals to make the playoffs. That's the question everybody wants to know right now. What are the odds for the Bengals to make the playoffs? And right now, Joe Burrow said, we can't even talk about that. We need to focus on getting a win against the Carolina Panthers, who is their next opponent, with Andy Dalton as the starting quarterback. But for the Bengals, they're going to ride Joe Burrow. And when I asked Burrow following the game, do you need to change up your leadership style? He said he's going to do some critical thinking as to figure out what this team needs from him to get back on the right track. And that will start with getting a better performance in terms of complementary football. This team hasn't quite yet figured out a game where they have been able to play complementary football, and that means the defense picking up the offense picking up the defense, and special teams being consistent. So the Bengals are looking for a lot of answers, but they're running out of time, and they look to get right back on track against the Carolina Panthers next week. So that is it for some post-game thoughts on what happened here at Paycor Stadium tonight. Be sure to keep it at Cincinnati.com for all of your coverage of the Cincinnati Bengals.